Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Antonio Schroeder, and welcome to EchoSound Podcast Studio. I am your host, Dr. Antonio Schroeder, brought to you by Stallion Studios Incorporated. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Antonio Schroeder, and I'm so delighted to have you join us today. I am so excited about what is about to occur. I have a special guest today that I want to introduce. Before I even get started, I'm going to share a brief bio. Stay tuned.
Commander Dale Brown is a lifelong martial artist, veteran airborne paratrooper, and former private investigator who founded Detroit Threat Management Center and Detroit Urban Survival Training, D.U.S.T, to empower individuals with nonviolent strategies for personal protection and public safety. His mission extends beyond self-defense, revolutionizing the way communities prevent and manage threats through preventive threat management, an approach that integrates tactical psychology, law, and physical skills. Founded in 1993, the Eclecticon Survival Training System. In 1993, Commander Brown developed the Eclecticon Survival Training System, an innovative urban survival methodology blending multiple martial arts disciplines, including Kyokushin Karate, Hapkido, Aikido, Jujutsu, Jeet Kune Do, and Chinese China. This system enhances technical skills, agility, and self-defense capabilities. Urban Survival Training Program, Detroit Threat Management Center, and Detroit Urban Survival Training, D.U.S.T, integrates tactical psychology, civil and criminal self-defense laws, and practical threat mitigation techniques. It follows the escape, control, and immobilization (ECI) model, ensuring minimal force use for the safest resolution possible. The Bridge. A pathway to safer communities. Preventive threat management is known as the Bridge, a paradigm shift towards human preservation. This system fosters nonviolent public safety methods, reducing crime through deterrence, de-escalation, and preemptive protection strategies. Powerful results and community impact. Commander Brown's efforts transformed violent Detroit neighborhoods into thriving communities. His strategies resulted in a 90% reduction in violent crime in the 7th Precinct, increased apartment occupancy from 30% to 90%, and revitalized local businesses. Social media and celebrity recognition. Commander Brown's YouTube channel, Detroit Threat Management Center, has amassed 2.05 million subscribers and over 500 million views. His expertise has been praised by DJ Khaled, Odell Beckham Jr., 2 Chainz, Chainsmokers, Rick Ross, Snoop Dogg, and Joaquin Buckley. He has been featured in XXL, MAG, SNL, Fox News, Detroit Free Press, TMZ, CNN, HBO Vice, and more. His high-profile clients include Reverend Jesse Jackson, Sylvester Stallone, John Bon Jovi, Mary J. Blige, Ice Cube, 50 Cent, and T.I. The future of preventive threat management. Commander Dale Brown's mission is clear: to replace kill culture with an anti-kill philosophy and create a safer world through nonviolent protection strategies benefiting families, businesses, and entire communities.
Hello, you guys. Welcome back. I am Dr. Antonio Schroeder. This is EchoSound Podcast Studios. I am the sole proprietor, and my mission is to create an engaging platform where we explore diverse and narratives and innovative ideas to innovate and bring to our audience a positive storytelling experience. And so today I have a special guest with us today, Mr. Dale Brown, which is Commander Brown. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you, sir. Great to be here.
How are you?
Excellent. Outstanding.
That's good. That's good. First of all, I'm honored to have you on my platform. You know,
Thank you for having me.
I have been admiring you for years before I even knew you, and having the chance to build a rapport and relationship with you is really a blessing.
Thank you.
And so I'm glad to have you on, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
Yes,
reaching
sir.
out. Thank you for reaching out. It's great. I'm glad you reached out to me. Was now over, definitely it was a couple years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for that. It's been great. So I'm glad to see you evolving, and love your show, and I'm glad and I feel honored to be a part of it. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, first of all, first and foremost, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions and engage into an interview where I appreciate you for that. But I want to ask you what is your background in terms of yourself and even your family in terms of just your whole MO? Like, what is your idea and your background is concerned? If you can give us a little bit about yourself.
In terms of my family, I'm in Detroit, and my family was the first owners of the first privately owned African American hospital here in
Wow.
Detroit, and started in 1917. And the hospital was the beginning of an entrepreneurial experience of my entire family. My great grandfather owned a church, a bank, a movie theater, bowling alley, and
Wow.
the hospital as well. We paid for everything, and also he owned a set of apartment buildings as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what I can say is that everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad to be a part of Detroit's evolution and also safety for not just Detroit, but for, hopefully, then this is the goal, to bring safety to the entire planet, to make sure that I do my part to make the world a safer place for everyone. And we do that through understanding psychology, law, and skill. But we have a history of dealing with violence as a family, which also, has a lot to do with the fact that I chose this kind of lifestyle, which is literally just to help people. And that's really what it's about.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome, man. It says a lot about you as well. So were you born in Detroit?
No, I was born in Ann Arbor, which is about 30 minutes outside Detroit. It's a college town. It's where University of Michigan is located.
Oh, okay. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
I grew up hearing terrible stories in the news about Detroit. And, for me, it was a place I'd go on the weekends to be with my grandparents, and, that kind of thing. But it was not where I lived. But I was always shocked at the number of stories that we'd hear about that were so terrible. Violence, constant violence every night.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, like, wow, there's nothing can be done. There's no change. There's no way to change this dynamic. You have to live with dystopian conditions. And I found out that's not true.
Right.
The one thing that you don't have to do is you don't have to accept inappropriate conditions. And the key to change those conditions is you and me. We, the people, make the changes.
Absolutely.
Right. And that expecting others to make the change for you is inappropriate.
Right.
And as soon as we understand that we are the solution, we the people that find something inappropriate, you can fix these things. You use positive energy, positive purpose, and love of humanity, and treat people the way you want to be treated. And I promise you, you can make the changes you want to look for.
That's right. That's right. Because it's really not about your environment. And Detroit does get a bad rap, just like Baltimore. It's the same thing. Baltimore is where.
Well, any place urban. Yeah. Any urban place has a bad rap.
You already know. So, yeah, exactly. What is your origin of your organization? What is the origin of your organization? And tell us a little bit about that. What is that all about?
Well, I started in 1995. I created a school. The school I called my system Eclecticon, which is a blend of styles, different types of systems. And I thought it would be great if Detroit and the world in general had a training system that would teach them how to defend themselves and their families in real life. So I trained a lot of different martial arts when I was a kid and as an adult, and I mixed them together with my understanding of the law. I was a private investigator when I got out of the military. I was an airborne paratrooper in the Army. And when I got out of the military as a private investigator, I realized that all the things I was taught in use of force and violence from martial arts schools and in the military was all incorrect for the use of self-defense in the real world in the United States where we have laws.
Right.
So I thought, wouldn't it be great if someone could teach you how to defend yourself, but also understand law? So you can legally defend yourself and your family, your company, your community. And right now, there still isn't anyone that's trying to even compete with our narrative, which is you can't legally defend yourself if you don't know the law, because what makes something legal in terms of self-defense is the law.
That's right.
Without the law agreeing with you, your violence that you used for self-defense, in your opinion, can easily be considered use of force that is inappropriate, and often ends up with most people in urban communities going to jail and or prison.
Right.
Just because almost all the violence that is used in an urban setting for self-defense or defense of others is often considered senseless violence.
Exactly. Yeah.
What we consider righteous violence in TV shows and movies, which we all watched growing up.
Come on.
Everything from Dirty Harry to Rambo to you name it, Chuck Norris, everybody, and goes way back. And more modern people, it's the same thing. The Rock and movies he's been in, righteous violence. And guess what happens in real life?
Exactly.
When you use the idea of righteous violence, you normally are going to not just get arrested, but do some degree of time in jail or prison if you're in an urban environment.
Right.
My point is to both explain that away so people can stop replicating that same outcome. That's because of our thought process. We believe, because we've been told, that the violence used in urban communities is senseless.
Right.
But in fact, it's self-defense. In many cases, someone did something and someone was defending themselves. Therefore, it's self-defense.
Right.
And so a byproduct of our training is that we begin to understand that all human beings deserve self-defense, the ability to defend themselves and others. And it doesn't take violence. If you're not thinking that violence is the solution, which I used to think, I believed that. I used to believe that in the 90s when I started. But when I first started, I thought that essentially all you do is call the police and you get your information together and you hand that information to the police when they get there on the scene.
Right.
And that's all it's going to take to stop the criminal activity. Because they said on the news, the urban people are not helping law enforcement officers, right? So I thought, well, that's easy fix. Go there, explain to people both how to defend themselves, but also how to be a good witness so they can give the information to police officers. And so police officers can arrest the right people, and they can prosecute the right people and make the neighborhood safe by working together with the citizens and the police.
Right.
And then I found out through real life consistent interactions that in fact there's a different perspective between the police where I'm from in Ann Arbor and the police in Detroit.
Yeah.
The police in Detroit are focused on prosecution. And police where I'm from are focused on promoting a healthy environment in which to bring your children to go to college.
Right. Right.
So if you had, say, some weed where I'm from in Ann Arbor, then it's not a problem. If you had the same amount of weed in Detroit, you're going to get a felony, even if it's not your weed, but you're in the car. That's and crazy. You're in high school and it's in the ashtray. It's not your car. Right. It's a small amount.
Right.
You're going to get a felony. Everyone in the car is going to get a felony.
Right.
And I was shocked when I saw this narrative that said that all things, including crossing the street like you do normally, can be a crime.
Right.
I'm from Ann Arbor. Kids, college kids included, cross the street, not at the stop sign, not at the light. They cross wherever, go to classes, right? And I've never seen a person get a ticket for that. But in Detroit, kids will get tickets for crossing the street to go to their friend's house.
That's
in
crazy.
A neighborhood, in a regular neighborhood.
Wow.
Right, like not a major street, just a regular neighborhood, walking across the street to your friend's house. So I say all that to say that perspective is everything. And my perspective was, we need safety for the families. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how it gets done. We need safety. There needs to be a way for you to feel inherently safe when you're a senior citizen, when you're a single mom, when you're a family, a father, a mother, and children in the house. Everyone should feel safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We should not try to focus on how to prosecute people, in my opinion, who've already been violated. I think we should focus on not allowing them to be violated.
Right.
While simultaneously not violating people's rights at the same time. So I had to create a system for that. So I created an entire educational system that teaches you how to defend yourself, your family, your community, your corporation, and how to do so in a nonviolent way that's non-intrusive,
Mm-hmm.
that's preventive
Mm-hmm.
and proactive, but
Mm-hmm.
also positive.
Wow. Now,
Peaceful. And at the end, it creates peace. And guess what comes from peace? Prosperity for everyone.
prosperity. Come on.
For
now.
everyone. I make the rich people richer by making the poor people safer.
That's it. That's it.
And the working class people, they're safer. Their cars are there. They go to work. If they can sleep at night because there's no drug traffic, if there's no things that are interfering in their quality of life, they have a great quality of life. And that translates to more money for the city. So the municipality gets more money because they have more happy citizens going to work, generating more money.
Right.
So everyone's happy. And then the police department, they don't have to deal with a lot of problems because we solved them in our community, in our area where I started, so successfully that it became a example
Mm-hmm.
of a paradigm shift
Mm-hmm.
in how public safety provisioning by a private sector company can result in a great thing for local law enforcement.
Yeah.
So now their most horrible neighborhood that had ComStat, that's their stat system, saying that this neighborhood was so terrible that it's just unsafe for everyone, unsafe for police, it's unsafe for everyone. They call it the crack alley.
Right.
It's where I lived, and it's where I started. And I started by I had a dog and a rifle,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard people screaming every day. And I would tell people to call the police. And what I did was to give me the legal right to actually interfere in the apartment buildings where people were being attacked.
Yeah.
And to give an example of how detrimental this was, the entire 1 square block had 10 apartment buildings, and every month there was a murder.
Wow.
And normally it's a female.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, every day there were home invasions, people screaming, and there's gunshots every day. There was home invasions literally every day. So people break in your house and take your things in this 1 square block. And I lived in this community.
Right.
And I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept that our families have to live in terror. So I called it the Anti-Terrorism Bodyguard Academy, is what I created. The VIPERS program, which stands for Violence Intervention Protective Emergency Response System. It's a bodyguard training system. Mm-hmm. And I started in 1995. And the Urban Survival Patrol, U.S. Patrol, was also an entity I created. You said U.S., cross your chest, Patrol. The United States Patrol is not what it stands for. It stood for Urban Survival Patrol. So I think the criminals thought it stood for United States. That's fine. But all I meant was to say, hey, we're serious. We have a uniform. We're structured, and we're here for the safety of the families. And it was amazing, man, to see the families, the senior citizens, so happy. They would offer us milk and cookies, and they would say, "Thank you, young man, for being out here." It's just amazing to see them so happy when they felt. I didn't realize there was so many senior citizens. And I did not realize they were in terror because they stay in the house. They weren't coming outside at all. Mm-hmm. And I felt very sad. At the same time, I was happy that they appreciated what we were doing. Right, and I got volunteers in the neighborhood. Right. But I was also saddened to know that our citizens in the United States are living in a way that is substandard and in a way that no person anywhere in the world should be living. It's living in a state of terror. Right. You don't know if you're going to live or die. There's no safety and no one's coming. And there were some good cops. The problem was there just wasn't enough ways to get the good cops to the location consistently. There's a system of how the 911 operators operate that stops rapid responses anyway. Yeah. It has nothing to do with whether the cops want to help or not. They're not even getting the calls in a timely fashion to be helpful. Right. There's that part too. Then there's the part of focusing on prosecution because that's what they're trained to do. Right. Right. Exactly. And my training is I don't want prosecution because I don't even want to go to court. I'm not getting paid for that anyway. Really, there's no money. I'm not making any money. Right. There was, people can't understand that. I got the legal rights by getting hired as the security by the building owners. Mm-hmm. I had to make a deal that was completely financially not in anyone's best interest to do. I was working for $4.50 an hour, even though my minimum wage was $5.15. Jesus. That's all the owner, who was extremely wealthy, owned a 17-story building, 20-story building, and a bunch of other buildings. This man is extremely rich. He was only willing to pay $4.50 an hour, and I agreed to work for $4.50 an hour, even though minimum wage was $5.15. Mm-hmm. And I worked 80 hours a week and only got paid for 40. Dang, that's that's because it's about the family, it's about the safety of the people. It wasn't about the money. Yeah, and people never They never understood that. How could you do that? Well, you do it because love of humanity, love of family. That's right. If I was a kid there, I thought, man, if I lived here and I was a kid, I'm there with my mom and my grandparents, my family. In some cases, it was the whole family. So people often say, well, urban plays, no fathers, lots of fathers. Okay. And guess what? They're in terror too, because they have jobs, they have a car, they have a home. They're trying to take their family from this kind of a neighborhood to the next level of life,
That's
which
right.
they did. But they have to be alive to do that.
Right.
And there's these certain individuals, small number, let's say out of 100% of the community, you got 5% that are actual violent criminals. That's a very small number.
Yeah.
Out of 100 people, it's 5 people, right? Those 5 people are enough to make it horrific for anyone to live there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The acts of crime that they commit cause terror in the minds of people that didn't even see it.
Wow.
Just know that these horrible things happened.
Yeah.
And then there's gangs that come through, and
Yeah.
then it's still a small number of people compared to the number of people in the community, but it seems like a lot. And when you talk about crime, and you're only talking about crime, you're not talking about good things.
Right.
All you hear are negative associations.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you take the negative associations and you continue to play those on the news, what you see, it creates more and more negative feelings that make you believe that Detroit is dystopia. But it is only dystopia by design. So you achieve what you believe.
That's right. That's
And
right.
what you conceive is how you change it. So conceive, believe, achieve.
That's
But
right.
if you conceive negative, you'll believe negative, you'll achieve negative.
You're going to achieve it. It's all in your thoughts. It's all in your mind, and I'm a firm believer in that.
When I first started talking to the rich man that owns buildings, I said, listen, we need to stop the robberies, help the families, blah, blah, blah. He said, what? I said, sir, we need to help the families. I'm going to start a group, and I'm going to train people, and I'm going to protect the community.
Right.
He was like, wow, good luck with that.
No, right.
I was like, sir, I was kind of hoping you would work with me and help me out and, give me free rent in my apartment because you're about to evict me because at $4.50 an hour, I can't afford the rent that I'm living in. I can't even afford that, right?
Right.
Right. You are paying me $4.50 an hour. He said, okay, well, I'll finance you out on a new deal. No, I'm sorry. The first thing he said was no. He said no. I was like, no, it's not an option. I want to help the community. You're making money off everyone.
Right.
And you're rich. And I'm saying to you,
right.
I'm saying to you, people are literally being robbed in front of your building, they're being killed in your buildings. I'm saying I would like to stop it. You know what he said? He said, how could you do something that the entire Detroit Police Department could not do for me in the past 30 years that I've owned these buildings?
Wow. So you already had doubt.
I was like this. I was like, that is a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
How can I do something the entire police department couldn't do for you? I was like, wow, I didn't think of that one. And actually, I'm just trying to get the legal rights to be security of the building. I'm probably going to get killed. I thought, there's no way I'm going to survive from Ann Arbor, from the suburbs.
Yeah.
How is a suburban person, right, going to come into the city and I'm going to tell these gang members they can't come here, rape, rob, and pillage, and then I'm going to survive?
Right.
I was like, that's probably not going to happen.
That's tough.
I'm probably not going to make it, but I will have a legal premise for my actions that I take. I will have the ability to say and show and demonstrate that what I was doing was legal at the time, and it'll be, as a warrior, it'll be a good death. I thought, I will die fighting for the safety of these families that are directly at risk by these individuals. And I know if they kill me, right, and I'm killing them while they're killing me, because I'm not going to let them kill me.
Right.
I am going to be removing someone from the community or a group of them that are attacking our families. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I said, if they do kill me and I end up killing them, because it was going to happen, right? I'm not going to just let them take my life. So I'm going to take someone from the neighborhood that's one of these bad guys. And that, I thought, well, that's a good death, because now what's going to happen is I've just saved a bunch of women and children, senior citizens and families from having to face off with this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forever. Mm-hmm. He's gone.
Right.
And so that's why I looked at it. I was like, well, I'm not going to make it, but I'm poor, so I have nothing anyway. It's a good death. I'm not going to, and my family, if you don't go to college, you don't really have a future. Mm-hmm. So, and everybody in my family's doctors. My little sister's a doctor. My mom's a doctor.
Right.
My grandfather. So, I'm just an educationally abortive person. So, there's no way I'm supposed to make it anyway. So it's good. It's a good way to use your time on Earth to make a difference that's positive.
That's right. That's right. And
I'm so wrong.
And look at Chanel. When you look at everything, sometimes we think we're on a path, and then there'd be something way greater, and it means something. And I feel like this, man. Why live? You're not living for something that matters.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Something bigger than self, man.
Yes.
Seriously, something you're bringing to the world that makes the world a better place.
Yes.
That helps people, that makes people happy. You know what I mean? Like you know how long you're gonna be here, you don't know how long other people are gonna be here.
Yeah.
So I believe what you should be doing is spending your time doing something that matters, that helps, that makes you happy, right? To do. Because I like personally for me, I love the look of people's faces when I remove anguish, suffering, and fear from their face.
Yeah.
I love that because as a kid, I used to get bullied. So I thought, and I got rescued a lot. I got rescued a lot. So I remember that feeling.
Yeah.
Random people would rescue me. And I remember thinking, that is amazing. I would love that feeling. Right.
Wow.
So when I got stronger and more powerful and I could make a difference for others, I used my energy, my life force to focus on helping people have that feeling of safety and not allowing them to be raped, robbed, and murdered. And do what I can. Whatever that is, I don't know what it was. Really, I was just like, I'm going to try my best. And so I told the man, I said, I don't know what kid I'm going to do, but I have a dog and I have a rifle. He was like, what are you and a dog and a rifle going to do? And I was like, that is a very good question. I have no idea. And I said, did I mention I'll give volunteers in the neighborhood? Right. He was like, right. Good luck with that, sir. You want to help your people. I want to help my people.
Right.
I help all people, okay? I don't care. There's not necessarily my people. There's all kinds of people living here, right? All different types of ethnic groups. 90%, I'll say it's 95% African American, but there are other people there, okay? So we help everyone. We don't care if you're gay, straight, old, young, what your nationality is, or ethnic group. We're helping everyone stay alive and safe, okay?
That's right.
And that's what I do as an organization for the past 30 years. And what I can tell you is I was completely wrong about the use of force and violence as the key to stopping force and violence. It's not. It's love of humanity and creating a way of communicating using psychology, communicating to that violent individual or group or gang that this is not in their best interest and they believe you.
Yeah.
As long as they believe that you're totally dedicated to doing whatever it takes to make safe the situation, and you're giving them a positive way to leave.
That's good.
They're going to take that route. They're not challengers. They're not heroes. These violent individuals and gangs are looking for women, children, senior citizens, the elderly, and square men that go to jobs.
Right.
They did not want to have a problem with me, except for the few assassins I came across. I did come across assassins that were sent by these gangs because when you do things that cause harm to negative people that are committing crimes, that are criminal enterprise organizations, they're going to send people to take you out. And that's just something I had to deal with as well. And I didn't know that. I watch TV, but I never heard of that. Like really, in real life, people are going to come try to kill you.
Right.
Yes. And that actually happened to me on many occasions where I had to defend my life, lives of others. And I found out later that it wasn't natural. It wasn't organic. People were sent to remove me because we had done something that stopped them from doing whatever they wanted to do.
Pretty much.
Whether it was an individual or a gang, there's going to be retribution. That's why you got to train. You have to have skills. You have to have knowledge and skill.
Yeah.
And then later, I learned about psychology. And once I learned more through years of heuristics, I then understood what worked and what didn't.
Yeah.
And now I have empirical knowledge that I've been able to pass on to my team members. And as a result, we have underwhelming amount of violence. No one fights us. No one resists us. We deal with mentals that are armed, mentals that are unarmed, mentals that are in a group that are attacking or trying to attack someone.
Yeah.
They're entering someone's home. They're in someone's home. We take them into custody without injuring them, without shooting them, without having violence because of our system.
Yeah.
So I can't stress that enough that our thought process creates the outcomes that we don't want if that's what we're focused on.
Wow.
And all I did to get the guy to focus on allowing me to actually get a free school and a free place to live and a free apartment in each building was I told him you lost $70,000 I heard from your manager, $70,000 the last 2 months in rent.
Right.
I said, give me 6 months. And I think I can stop all of that. I know I can. And he said, you know what? I don't believe you, but I'll give you 6 months. You have 6 months.
Right.
Within that 6 months, not only did we stop all the home invasions and all the murders, we stopped them, meaning some actually happened, and we stopped them in the process and then stopped, right? Murders and home invasions. And then after that, it was very peaceful. And as a result, the wealthy man became wealthier because now when your crime drops 90%, what happens is people move in.
Right.
And now your occupancy goes up 100% to a waiting list. So now all of a sudden, it's a great place to live. There's no violence, no crime. And as a result, rich people got richer and the poor people got safer.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I love your heartbeat towards just making things safe. The vision of just allowing people to get to the point of having some confidence, and also helping them feel safe. Because nowadays it's not. Unfortunately, we live in a society where it's like you don't even know is it safe to go outside your home. I had a situation. I didn't talk to you, man. I didn't hit you up because I know you're probably busy. But my wife was in a bank yesterday, and my son, my baby boy, and her was in a bank, and right in the middle of a crossfire, two gangs, and we're in a good neighborhood, right? And these kids are like, they're teens. It was all black. I guess that's whatever, gang related, whatever. I don't know who they are, but they was in some type of dispute, and my wife and my son was in the crossfire. And thank God that they were able to get into some type of cover and really get out of Dodge, because it could have went another direction. I was kind of puzzled yesterday. So it goes to show you that, and I was talking to my wife last night, got a chance to really digress and really got a chance to, look at it. And it's like, man, it's real. And, and it's just describe it. What made it a little bit more light, because my son was describing what happened. As soon as he heard it, he went down. He did a Fortnite move, and he rolled and went to the side. I started laughing, and I made light of it. But it's a serious situation, man. And
yes,
and
people get caught up all the time and have no idea that that's something that happens constantly.
Yeah.
Or they get confused because they thought your vehicle was someone else's vehicle. Happens all the time. Right. They don't know. They thought you were somebody else. You look like somebody to them. Yep. It happens all the time. Yep. And people are being shot. And that's why I teach a lot about psychology to everyone, right? To police and to the public. So we had stress with police back in the 90s. Yeah. And once the commander from the 7th Precinct saw the fact that we created peace peacefully, meaning there was no court dates, there's no lawsuits, there's no prosecutions, we're not violating people's rights, but yet somehow we're creating safety and we're doing it safely. As a result, the 7th Precinct got the results as a part of their crime stats, that somehow their crime went down drastically. So the 7th Precinct commander supported me as a result. And then eventually more police officers came to train with us. They started to see us out in the other communities. So we were just in one community at first on the east side. As we grew, we got to we started doing nightclubs, because nightclubs had a major problem with gangs. And so I trained people from the streets. I got people literally from the streets. Wow. And a lot of guys had never had a job before. They'd never known anyone with a legal job before, and this is their first time being free.
That's a blessing
in their life.
Wow.
And I had to talk to parole officers, probation officers. And what I did was explain to them that they will be under extreme scrutiny. There's no drinking, smoking, disrespecting people. They have to understand law. They have to follow the rules. Can't disrespect people. They have to be clean cut, clean shaven. If they have a beard, it has to be sharp. And the clothes have to be clean. Boots have to be shined. Very structured. And as a result, a lot of the guys who have been in the system before never went back. Which I was shocked. I thought they were going back. I thought that people weren't changing. I found out later they did change, and they changed for the better. Wow. Because even if they don't change right now, which is very rare, people change immediately, but you are affecting them when you say positive things. I gave speeches every day. Yeah. And we worked out. We trained every day. So what happens is you're training to go to nightclubs, but you train every day, 7 days a week. And every day you got to hear about anti-coward, anti-violence, anti-woman beating sermons from me. What makes you woman beaters? You're a coward. You're weak. I'm not saying you, because obviously you're not that, right? Right. Guys like, yeah, no, I'm not that. And what makes you allow? The reason why you don't mind watching kids and women get beat up is because you're a coward. Right. Those guys are cowards that do that, not you, because you're here. Right. So obviously you're not a coward. And next thing you know, these guys are like, yeah, we shouldn't do that. yeah, you shouldn't do that. It's a value system, though. If you don't value life, no one valued you.
Yeah.
If you can't value life if no one values your life.
That's right.
If no one respected you, you can't respect other people.
Right.
And so what I did was, once I understood these facts about human psychology, I used it to persuade people to think differently, behave differently.
Yeah.
And I got them to create a thought process where you want the peace because you know it's also the path to your successful life and prosperity.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be a bully. You don't want to go use force and violence. Once I found out that righteous violence still isn't right, that took me some years, a few years. First 5 years, I believed that violence was the way to stop the violent people.
Right.
So we trained for extreme violence, knives, guns, hand to hand. I have a private range out in the woods, and we trained all the time for shooting people. And as a result, we had a lot more violence. As I learned more about psychology, and I changed my belief system from violence to anti-violence, right? From righteous use of force for killing bad guys to anti-kill philosophy, which is literally the opposite of our overall national belief system right now.
Yeah.
Right now, we believe in philosophy. There's always a legal way to justify the use of force under all conditions in order to deprive people of their lives.
Right. Hey.
That's philosophy. That's what I call that, philosophy.
Philosophy? I'm going to have to use
philosophy. Right? And then I created anti-philosophy, which is the belief that you can preserve lives under all conditions.
That's right. That's right. If it's possible, definitely. Yeah.
But start out with the idea that it's possible. And so what happens is it's really hard not to be possible. So it's very difficult to make the transition to having to use that level of force. And what you find is once you do that, once you accept the fact that you can be anti-kill.
Right.
And you can, and what happens is it does change the way everything, the dynamics of the situation evolve.
Right.
And so when you understand psychology, you can do that. And that is literally, it's all encompassing though. It's not just one aspect of human interaction. So I have to create that condition that I don't want violence from onset of contact with the place or the people in the place, right?
Right.
It can't be a condition that I hope they see. I have to create that pathway. I have to get them to believe that although they can't defeat me or us or we, they can't win, right? They have to believe that. But they don't have to win because guess what? We're on their side.
That's right.
We're going to help them get the help they need by getting a lawyer for them so they can get up out of this situation. Let's get you to a lawyer. Let's get you to the hospital. Let's get you, to where you need to be. Or if, in most cases, we're so fast, we get situations, hurry up and leave before the police get here because you haven't done a crime yet. You were just about to do a crime. You should go now.
That's a good one.
Or the crime you have done doesn't involve injuring people, right?
Yeah.
So now it comes down to getting you out of there because we don't want to have any further contact with you. Example of that is a guy kicking a door of a house, a 25,000 square foot house, one of our clients' homes. This particular person is a president of an international corporation that everyone knows of, a car manufacturer. And this, his wife and him are in the house, this president of this major corporation, and his wife and daughter are in the house, his young daughter. And the Secret Service is involved to some degree. And so is a global surveillance center that actually looks at cameras live at their house.
Wow.
So they call the police. We make everyone call police first. We protect about 10,000 families in Detroit, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week right now. And this is one of our communities called Palmer Woods, which is an upscale community in the inner city of Detroit. And the average home is $1 million home. And this one is multi-million. And this home is being home invaded by a man with a gun in his hand.
Wow.
My team members get in a 45-degree angle position, and they give him commands to stop kicking the door and to leave.
Wow.
And he was shocked. He was like, "What do you mean leave? Stop kicking the door and leave the neighborhood right now." The police are on the way. Now you can see we're armed, right? We're armed with what's called non-lethals, right? So it looks lethal, but he doesn't know. And he's told to leave. He thinks about it. He believes because our guys are talking, my team members are talking to him in a positive way. And they're like, hey, just calm down. You can just leave. Just leave right now. Yeah. Remember, he didn't get in the house. He's kicked the door. Technically, had a dirty door. That's all he's got right now. Okay, dirty door. Footprint on the door. And then he leaves, and we tell the police which way he went. The police arrive about 20 minutes later, but the police are called before we're called. Okay.
Right.
Our response time is under 5 minutes, not normally. And the family's fine, and they're happy. They didn't know what's going on. They never even heard anything. Right.
Wow.
The police get there. We tell them what happened. We have the video. They got the video from the house and everything. But then they asked me, and one of the providers of executive protection for this particular individual asked me why we didn't take the man into custody. And I said, okay, well, sir, understand our perspectives are two separate things. Our purpose is two separate things. Our purpose is protect the community and the families here and keep them from having a negative event.
Right.
Okay. Now, if we kill this person at your door and you can afford a 25,000 square foot home, and we kill the bad guy at your house, you're not going to want to live at this particular house. You own several homes, but you're not going to want to live at this one for sure.
Yeah, because it leaves a scar. Definitely.
Yes, knowing there's a dead body at your house is not going to be something good.
Yeah.
Now, what if we get killed there?
Right.
What if he's lucky and we get killed and we're unlucky that day?
Yeah.
So we get killed, he gets killed, or it doesn't matter who got killed. It's bad for the property value. It's bad for the neighborhood. The neighborhood's property values will now descend.
That's true.
With death and serious injuries.
That's true.
There's no good in violence, even when it's righteous, legal, and justifiable. So if you can find a way to create a path to nonviolent outcomes, it is in your best interest psychologically, legally, and tactically.
Right. That's right.
And that was evolution for me. And I'm glad that I got that out there, because people need to know there is a solution. There is a way to manage these different issues without the violence that's normally associated with community protection. Mm-hmm. Now, we never take an action without calling the police first, but the police have a different perspective and a different purpose. Our purpose is to prevent, essentially, violent crimes from being committed, so that there is no prosecution. Mm-hmm. And if we fail, the police are there to prosecute, which we have many situations where we have to transfer the detained person to law enforcement. So that's because they did a crime and the homeowner wants to prosecute them.
Right.
However, we do emphasize not prosecuting whenever possible. Mm-hmm. But if the client wants to prosecute, we will hold and detain the person for the police however long it takes. Sometimes it takes hours for that person to be transferred to the police department, but it just takes a while.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, bottom line is we have to focus as a society on creating the safety we want. And the safety we want is not related to prosecution. It's related to prevention of the conditions, which leads to prosecution, which we call opportunity denial. Threat, opportunity denial. So when you deny the opportunity for threats to occur, that's how you create a successful, peaceful community that can prosper.
That's really, really good. I like the way you broke that down. And as you're talking, man, like with your years of experience, people don't know how tactical and your history and resume, because people see you on social media and they see you like go viral, and your approach to, showing how to defend oneself and knowing the pitch, man. Let me tell you something, man. You're a guru at this, man, when it comes down to just the marketing aspect of your business and how you was able to incorporate your business into the stream world, where people are able to really see you and they're able to embrace it. And it's entertaining at the same time, because like how are you going to get people's, attention if you don't, do something, or pique the interest of the people.
That's right.
People can say, you know what, let me look at this guy. Okay, and then they look more into it, like, oh, this he's the real deal.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Essentially, a lot of haters came out. Yeah, because they saw one of my videos just sent them into a frenzy of ignorance. A frenzy of ignorance. Right. That's all I can say. These are people that think they know something because they feel like they should know. It's really strange. Right. But there's one gun disarm that we did that set him into a tizzy fit. Right. I gun disarm to the chest, right? Or I put slide back. And I explain how it works and why it works, right? I show it works. Right. And it went crazy. We got 170 million views in a month and a half. Wow. I'm sorry. We got 170 million views in that one video. Wow. And then we got over 2 million followers on YouTube over the next year.
That's a
But we got
blessing.
1 million. We got 600,000 in 3 weeks, and then we got 1 million within a month.
Let me tell you, man, that's, first of all, it's hard to come by, and some people are not able to really convey or convert themselves and to get that type of attention. You know what I mean? And for you
Yes,
to
and
actually,
I didn't know it was that big a deal, and I didn't know because I wasn't social media savvy at the time. I wasn't that aware. I didn't realize how powerful it is. It's unbelievable. The power of social media is amazing. It's beyond your comprehension if you're not aware of it.
right?
If you know what I'm saying. Your brain cannot possibly conceptualize how powerful it is.
Yeah,
So it's been 3 years since I've been social media, or 4 years, really 3 to 4 years.
yeah.
It's been three and a half years, because it's like 2021 is when everything blew up. So
Wow, man,
3.5, 4 years. Yep.
that
And it just blew up. It's like, so I've been me for, 55 years.
yeah.
So
It's the fact that people didn't need to catch up to
yes,
what you've been doing
right.
for years.
So at 52 years old, all of a sudden people are like, I don't think you're real.
Right.
I've been around for a long time.
Right.
And I got a lot of videos. You can go online and see videos, real life violence we dealt with. I put that up there on YouTube.
Yeah.
Detroit Threat Management Center on our YouTube. I got videos of real life encounters,
Yeah.
real life situations, really what we do out there in the field. And then I started on YouTube in 2009, I think.
Mm-hmm.
2009.
Wow.
But no one cared
Right.
until 2021 when the haters came out.
Wow.
When the haters came out, the haters just blew us up and drew so much attention to us that people looked, they're like, wow, this is amazing training.
Wow.
And so it helped us greatly. I didn't realize that too. I didn't realize from hate comes this love.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I have never, because we dealt with so much violence and bloodshed,
Yeah.
I had a negative, let's say, traumatic experience because lots of violence. So six of my team members have been shot. None of my team members were dead. None of them. They all survived.
Mm-hmm.
We transported them to level 1 trauma hospitals after we stabilized their wounds, with the exception of a couple cases, and those people still survived. But we learned that we have to do the medical part ourselves as well.
Right.
Because waiting for the ambulance was not in our best interest.
Right. Right.
And so you have to stabilize your wounded, and you have to know how to get to level 1 trauma hospitals to save lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we learned through heuristics, again, trial and error, that this is what developed our empirical understanding. Mm-hmm. Now we proved it, and now we teach it, and now it works as a result of the fact finding
Right.
that took place. The heuristics gave us this understanding,
Right.
but you have to have bloodshed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, I'm happy that I was able to, develop the organization and the infrastructure. However, it is very stressful. A lot of trauma, a lot of violence, a lot of bloodshed, and to see all this love now. When I started this at like 25 years old, and now and a lot of positivity. I got pockets of positivity, forever, right?
Yeah.
Day one, but this is consistent, positive interactions now.
I love it.
I meet people on the street every day, police officers, regular citizens, old people, young people, people from every ethnic group, people that can't speak English from other countries are so happy to see me.
Yeah.
I did not know they knew me, and they're so happy.
Man,
and I'm so honored to be someone that makes people happy. I mean, I just never thought that could be me, but just being places now, they just pay me to go places, and people are just happy to see me, and including stars, which I never thought I'd meet Flavor Flav and Snoop Dogg, and I mean, not meet them socially, right? I'm at them protecting them in different types of events, right? A lot of stars, but this is different. I'm actually being featured, and I meet these stars, and they're super happy to see me and do tactics and do techniques and see if it's real, see if it works. There's the controversy that makes people actually look at the stuff. It's amazing, man. It's amazing how everything works out. I think you brought this up earlier. Like, you don't know how things are linked. You don't know how the universe is setting things up for things to work in your favor. It looks like it's not going to work out. Right. It looks like it's not in your favor.
Right.
That's why I've been preaching this forever, which is do for others what you want done for you. Treat them the way you want family treated. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
Whether drunk or high or happy or whatever's going on, it doesn't matter what it is. They have mental problems. They're upset about something. They're angry. Treat them the way you want your family member treated in the same situation.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
That's good stuff. That's
Yep.
right.
And love of humanity is really the key, man. You have to love people in order to protect people properly. So the key to protection is not violence and fighting and skills at fighting and killing people. The key to protecting anything is love.
That's right.
Because love is the foundation of protection.
Preach.
So the truth is, we as human beings will always protect what we truly love without any reason other than the fact that we love the thing we're protecting.
That's right, man.
So the best protection are people that care about people. So if you want to be safe, you just have to care about people, and you need people that care about you if they're going to help you be safe.
Man, listen, you preach it to me, bro, because that's my mentality. My mentality is I'm a warrior at heart, bro. That's me anyway. I'm a protector, So when it comes down to, especially for people that I care about, I love, and that's just the bottom line. So I'm a loyal type of person. I mean, you're my friend. You know what I mean? That's just my mentality.
Yes, and take a step further, man, and look at all people as your family. Look at everyone as your extended member of your human family.
Come on.
Because what you want is someone to look out for your family. When your kid and your wife are at the bank, you want someone to help them if they could.
Come on.
Right? Even though they don't know them, you'd like someone to help them. And that's where we have to also be willing to help other people's family members when they're in danger, when they're in need of safety. And that's the key, I think, to a lot of our societal problems is love of humanity in general. Unlearning racialism, unlearning all those things we learned about different ideas about the concepts of race, which is ridiculous. It's race is fiction.
Yes.
And what is not fiction is actual human beings.
That's right.
Human beings need to unlearn all the things that are separating factors and just really encourage people to support humanism, the support of people, right? So I don't care what your religion is or if you're not religious at all.
Yeah.
What I care about is, are you okay? Do you need assistance? If not, I can move on with my life because you don't need help right now. You're fine. Right? So if you said, hey, screw you, Mr. Brown. No, thank you. I'm married, but clearly you don't need my help. So I'm going to move on now. I don't need them to respect me. I respect me. If they don't respect me, that's their business. I don't care. Right? So I'm going to leave now.
That's right.
They have given me verbal indicators that indicate they do not need assistance from me.
Right.
So I will simply leave. I will not beat them down. I will not go torture them, beat them up. I will not go try to force them to respect me.
No.
Why does that matter to me? What matters to me is, did I do my part to help a fellow human being?
That's right.
When they told me to get lost, that was them helping me to get on my way, to go help someone else.
That's it.
Stop wasting my time with them.
And I love the fact that you're able. Some people are it's hard for them to when they get a rejection or when they're pushed away, they're not filtered upon like a default type of mindset to say, you know what, this is my core. Even though my core wasn't relatable to you, I did not move away from my square or move away from my core. I'm still able to still be consistent to whom I am, and I'm not letting this maybe toxicity or an issue stop me from still continuing what I know I was created and born to do. Meaning I'm not going to lose myself and I'm going to be private when I'm an outgoing person, which is part of what I'm made of and what it is that I do. And a lot of times people get really messed up with that, man. Like you understand what I'm saying?
You caught up in the ego and pride.
Yeah.
Ego and pride. Pride is the path to prison and poverty.
That's it.
Or the morgue.
Yeah.
So you have to remove pride and just have purpose.
Yeah.
So you take the idea of having pride and you switch it with purpose.
That's right.
What is your purpose?
Yeah.
If you focus on your purpose, then you'll be fine.
That's
if you're using pride as your foundation, you're gonna go down the wrong path.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
So
absolutely.
Ego, pride, those things are not your best interests. Think about only what you're trying to accomplish and then focus on that totally.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And
stay positive, man. Stay positive.
Oh man, say that again, man.
Yes. Under all conditions, you have to remain positive. What I did with the haters that were just over the top is I came back at them with positivity.
That's right.
I attacked them with positivity. I attacked them with pure positivity.
You sure
No matter
did.
what they said. No matter what they said.
You kept punching, boy.
Yes, I came back with positivity right at them.
Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
hear you. You want to be violent towards me? I wouldn't do that. Let's get together. Let's be positive. Let's do some videos.
That's right.
You know what? We can actually. I'll show you the techniques and show you the work, and we can go back and forth and discuss it from there.
Right.
And I'd say probably at least half of them turned up.
Wow.
And I converted them.
Wow.
100% conversion rate. 100% conversion rate.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
stuff.
they came in. So I had guys fly in from other states. Guys coming from New York, LA. They were some were hostile, right? And when they got in, and we talked, and we did tactics, and we did things, we showed work, man, they were blown away.
Yeah,
Blown
listen,
away, positive.
I know once they got there, it was like, okay, just come on over here and once they really see it, it was no way in the world they couldn't be just like,
Once they experience it, once they physically experience it, we also take them, then I did something else with them, is I take them out to the communities and can see what we do, actually protecting the communities, how we actually do that. And then they get a newfound level of respect too.
Right.
Because it's one thing to say I teach something. It's another thing to say I actually do something with the teachings.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I never did was I never asked my instructors, where they use these tactics from. Mm-hmm. Where did they use it at? Where do they use the techniques in real life in the street?
Right.
And I never asked them, what do they do when, okay, now you had violence. When do you call the police? What do you tell the police? How do you deal with the police once you're covered in blood and you have these violent situations? How do you manage the law enforcement aspect of your encounter? Because there's going to be a law enforcement aspect. And they would have said, I don't know, because that's not what they do.
Yeah.
So we teach you what to say when you call the police. We teach you what to say when police arrive at the scene, how to interact with police officers. You don't have problems with police. You can have a serious problem with police by accident. There's true. People that do things, they run up to the police. They think, oh, look, a police officer here. I'm in danger. I'm going to run up to the police. Yeah. Well, that is not your best interest.
That's not good. Yeah.
Some cops will be able to discern, hey, this is a good person, right, running at me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, a lot of police officers, regular people included. So remember, it's not just police, it's regular people. You run at them, they think you are doing something to harm them.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
And so we teach how to avoid those false positives, but we also teach people how to not create them.
Yep.
So don't create conflicts with people or police or priests or anyone. Don't create problems with gangs or gang members or gang members' families. So creating a problem is not in your best interest if you want to have a good quality of life. So we teach a lot of intelligent options to increase a person's quality of life, right? Intelligent options increase your survivability.
Yep.
By definition. And the more intelligent options you know, better life you're going to have.
That's good stuff, man. With that being said, I appreciate you so much for blessing me with your presence, man, and being on this platform. Let me tell you something. It means it goes a long way. Like
Thank you for having me, man. It means a lot to me too.
Man, we have no idea.
We need to get the word out there to more people, more positive people like yourself.
Yes. I appreciate you, for that, man. Definitely. I ask you what you're handling. Like, how can people reach you? Even though I know, listen, people know who you are, but just in general,
want more people. Exactly. Want people to be able to reach out to us anytime.
Yeah.
Detroit Threat Management Center on YouTube. Detroit Threat Management Center YouTube, and on Instagram it's Detroit_Dust, and on TikTok it's Detroit-Dust.
Okay.
And DUST stands for Detroit Urban Survival Training.
That's good stuff. I love that too.
And please, everyone out there that's watched this, please feel free to contact us. We're looking for anyone that wants to help learn our system. People fly in from other cities, states, and countries. They come and train with us here, so they can take the training back to their communities. And also, people that want to, fly in. We have families fly in. Companies send their employees in. Sometimes we fly out to where employees are, and we train them there at their companies. But our training system is the paradigm shift. It's what you're looking for. You're looking for, how do I create safety, but I do it safely and not create litigation. I don't want to create lawsuits, and I don't want to go to prison because I won the fight.
Right.
So our training system is really the paradigm shift that we're all looking for.
Right.
And that's why I'm glad for this opportunity to present to your audience, and look forward to hearing from anyone that's interested in learning the ways to create safety and do so safely.
Mr. Brown, appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything. and even the information that you given us and given our audience. And man, please don't let this be your last time. You know.
Absolutely, anytime. Thank you.
Yeah, and so we're gonna be
Please let me
connecting
know.
soon. You already know that. So
Yes.
yeah, but I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Stand by too. By the way, thank you guys. Until we meet again, same time, same station. Take care. God bless.